that's a big thing. But yeah, so I think resilience is. I think that's a good word.
Wow, yeah, that's a very big word, and so that's really really important. So I mean, we're going to have a break, and then we will be back with the with you and talk about your latest song and how it came about and what is really the objective of the song so far. So don't go anywhere, and we will be back soon.
Okay. All right.
Welcome to another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Birai Tilekima Global Leadership Organization.
When I left Disney, I met lots of people who are entrepreneurs and just said, "Look, I'm starting. What advice do you have for us?" And I got some great advice. And there was a few things that were key. First of all, and as you saw in the video there, keep it simple. Be simple about what problems you solve.
But what are you hoping for? That means that there's a future. That means that there's something that you yet still need to be realized and materialized in your life. And if you have lost hope and you're not hoping for something, that means you're lost. So we need to get you back to the place of being able to hope again.
Trust the process. So many times we get stuck and paralyzed from taking the first step and taking action to get out of that transactional to the transformational of our own lives because we're afraid. But trust the process. Take that one little microscopic step. And I tell you that once you do that, that will increase into another step and another step and another step. So that's what I'd like to leave with you today.
My message for today is delay is not denial. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to accomplish what it is you want to accomplish in life. Do not stop until you get what it is you know God has for you.
So we are back. We are back with Deon. So if you're joining us, we are in the US today in Oklahoma with Deon. Deon is an artist. Is also a fitness instructor or coach, and is making sure that people get to the next level of the greatness in his own industry. And we want to talk about his latest song now. So working out for your good. So
Mhm.
what really inspired you to write this song, and what do you want the listener to take away from it?
So I actually wrote this song probably 4 years ago. I
Mhm.
wrote it. I would, we all have family things or stuff we go through on our own, and I was just praying for a long time, weeks and weeks, and I was asking God. I was like, I don't know how to fix these situations. I don't know what to do with it. I'm stressed out. I'm bothered. I'm irritated. I'm sad. I had all these emotions going on, and I went to church, and the pastor said, I can't remember exactly what he said, but when I got home, all I kept hearing is working out for your good. So whatever you're dealing with, as long as if you are a believer and you're a follower of Christ and you have intention on pleasing Him, at the end of the day, it's always going to work out for your benefit because God is not going to leave His babies alone. He's not going to abandon His babies. So that's how the song actually came about. So what people and the reason why the song has got the upbeat is because when you think about everything that you're dealing with, it is a downer. It can be very disheartening when you're going through a lot of stuff. But when you think about it, it's like, wait a minute, all this is going to benefit me later on. That
Mhm.
immediately changes the perspective. So with the song, it's trying to change your perspective on the things that you're dealing with. So even though
Mhm.
it looks rough right now, but rough don't last all day. Rough is just temporary, and then you have the other side. So that's the idea of the song.
Wow. And it's also coming at the right moment because there's just so much going on right now
Mhm.
around the world. People struggling, cost of living, unemployment. You see so much misery around the world that
No.
when you if you bring this type of message, it's actually giving some hope,
Yes.
and really helping people to hang in there and understand that it's just temporary, and at some point, if they continue to trust God and continue to work on their mindset, they will actually be able to to see the light in a way at some point. So that's a very strong message. And when you talk about faith, obviously it can have different meaning for people. So what does faith looks like when your life is really when it's heavy and uncertain and comfortable? How do you think faith looks like? Because it's actually difficult to have faith when you are in such a in such a
Yeah.
situation, and you have to face those challenges. So what are the tools and things that you think people should think that they should do, or tools that they can use to be able to stay positive?
So one thing that's a great question, but one thing that I do personally is I look at my perspective. I change the
Mhm,
perspective because faith is unseen. You don't. When
mhm,
we're talking about faith, we're talking about something we can't see and always feel. So you have to whatever you're dealing with, you have to for example, going to work every day. It's exhausting. You got to deal with
mhm,
people. But at the end of the day, you're helping people. You get a check. So it's
mhm,
hard. It's hard for the 8 hours you're there. But if you change your
mhm,
perspective, I'm only here temporarily. And so that's when I think about faith, perspective always sticks out. And
mhm,
and also in the Bible, faith without works is dead. So we have faith and that things are going to change, but you still have to do the work even though you
mhm,
have faith. It's not going to just show up. You got to do the work. So that would be my encouragement to people is like, look at all, be optimistic, change your perspective.
mhm.
Whatever you put in here, if you're negative always in here, then that's what's going to always come to pass.
And that's the most difficult things to do. Switching, really work on your mindset when you are in a very difficult situation.
Mhm.
And that's what make the difference between, people winning and the one that actually just, um, let themselves down in a way. So it is very important. And whether, hard, because the thing is, it's one thing to say it, but is there any, trick or tools to actually have, automate this type of thing, switching, mindset, or, changing your perspective, or how do you do it, practically, basically?
So there's a few things in healthcare and
Mm-hmm,
nursing. You learn a lot about redirecting. Like if you have a patient who has
mm-hmm,
dementia or anything like that, and once they get fixated on something, you have to redirect them. So there's the same thing
mm-hmm,
with our faith. And when it's fixated on the negative, you have to redirect it. And then
mm-hmm,
also spend time with God. You have to. That's how I have to do it. If I don't spend time with God, there's no way I don't have any energy or to move forward with that. I need to make sure I recharge. And also,
mm-hmm,
I'm big on being active. So if you're taking care of yourself, you got to take some time and focus on you, whether it's the gym, meditation, walking, reading, whatever that is. Take some time to give yourself peace. So for me, fitness is a form of my peace. So those are the things that I would suggest people do because that's what I do, and they work.
yes. And that's the thing, because sometimes, you tell people, but they really like want to do, the real practical things to do. And really like what you said is like, take time to take care of yourself, spend time with God, take care of your body, who is the temple of the Lord, and
Mhm.
and and really, getting to do things that will, bring this positivity in you. And and you mentioned the fact that, you actually take care of your body. So you've actually, you're strong in fitness. And so what did fitness actually teach you about, being disciplined as part of faith is concerned? And also, how did you apply it, to make your life successful, basically?
So fitness teaches you, especially in bodybuilding, it can be a good and bad thing because it's a never-ending cycle. You never
Mhm,
see, you don't see what other people see when you're in that. People say, "Oh, you look amazing." You're like, "No, but I don't look this way." But what
mhm,
happens is you learn self-love and self-care and discipline and dedication, and those things
mhm,
take you far. Like you mentioned something that jogged a thought about people who are. You said something about like getting to the other side like a race because it's not about
mhm.
who's the fastest. It's most of the time about who's willing to endure to the end. So dedication, diligence, and self care. Those are the things that's going to get you to that next phase because you have to have those things a part of you in order to be successful. Otherwise, you're just going to be out here spinning your wheels.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, and so those are big things. Dedication,
Mhm.
persistence, yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and it comes down to what you said. You still have to do the work. It's not just about, the faith and telling yourself, okay, I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna do this. You still have to get this, do the work, get the discipline to do this work even when you don't want to, and
Right.
really be, focused and dedicated. So that's a very important step, so we're gonna have another break, and then we'll just continue this exciting conversation. I can see we have Adigun. Adigun is watching live right now
Hey,
from, I don't know if he is in the UK or in Nigeria right now, but yeah,
okay, cool.
it's been one of our, yes, it's been one of our, listener for years now. So thank you, Adigun, for for tuning in. So we're gonna have another break. We'll be back with Deon to continue this inspiring and exciting conversation. And really, if you're watching, let us know if there is anything that you want, if you want to participate and be part of the conversation.
Yeah. Well,
professional wrestling. I was a bit older for that than the typical person that starts. I was about 35 when I started professional wrestling back in 2015. And then just because of my background and my mindset, my, mentally tough disposition, my fortitude, I just had, what it takes to make that transition smoothly. And I went from professional wrestling and take me long to catch on and get trained up and start competing and traveling the road and doing independent promotions and independent shows with some of the who's who and some of the best in the business, past, present, and future. And that opportunity led to actually working with Adam Sandler and Terry Crews back in 2016. That was my break into the industry, where I was Taft Hartley. Then subsequently got my SAG eligibility and joined the SAG Actors Union. And that was for Sandy Wexler. In 2016, I came in as a stuntman. And then here we are. It's like a full circle moment. Here we are, 2025, almost 10 years later. From working with Adam Sandler for the first time, and then almost 30 years later from the sequel, it's only fitting that here we are, part of the franchise, Happy Gilmore 2. And
so the healing is happening from within you. So even when you go to a psychiatrist or a psychoanalyst or a therapist or whoever it is, we are only tools. We are only conduits. We don't do anything. We just show you how. But then if you don't want to do it, nothing can help you. Like they say, right? I mean, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So in any form of medicine or therapy or any kind of, intervention, it's literally an intervention, but your body is literally healing itself. If your body decides not to heal itself, which it never does, unless you have a lot of toxicity, which it's trying to get rid of, then you will heal automatically. So it's always happening from the inside out. Healing never ever happens from the outside in. And another thing I want to tell people is, do not give away your power to a coach, a mentor, a healer, a guru. Do not give your power away.
Get into yourself. What makes you happy? Where's your peace? I get to my highs and lows all the time, and I realize too many of that's a part of me, because that's part of when I get into those lows is, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? Self-evaluation. So I'll start to stop calling it like depression, it's highs and lows. And when you get to know yourself, sometimes you get real low because you realize so many things that you've allowed in your life, or you realize so many things that you did not do because of your own mindset. You know what I mean? And I want to leave that with so many people, because we're scared to know ourselves. We're scared to really love ourselves because we feel that, we need to do this, we need to do that. We need, knowing yourself gives you the freedom of life.
Every day you have the power to rewrite your story. One new decision can change the entire narrative of what you're doing. So start with intention. Live every day with intention and your powerful thought. One thought, one action, one connection that aligns with the future you want to leave behind. Legacy begins with awareness, not perfection. We're always following this, what is perfect in our mind. No, it's being aware of who you want to be by taking an action, you connecting with the right people, and your thoughts. All these things are aligning to shape your next future.
So welcome back, welcome back. We are here with Diane, and we are actually talking about, all the, the way he's actually empowering people. We also, talked about his latest song and how,
Mm.
it is also, a tool of empowerment as well for, to pass on his message and you know, anybody who wants to to listen and to the message and resonate with the message to go to the what I always say, to go to the next level of the greatness. So you also you are also a fitness coach, from what I understand. So how do you build people, you help people build strength, not only physically, but also mentally, how to help them to, and spiritually as well, obviously, because as you mentioned, God is a big part of it. So what are the techniques or anything that you do to be able to make people stronger?
So I'm gonna clear a little bit up. I am actually not a practicing coach because I'm in
Hmm.
medical school and stuff, but I do have a
Hmm.
coach that assists me with my process.
Hmm.
But in helping people, um, what I do, I try to encourage people to remember why you're doing it. It's not always about the physical. Because you're being active and working out and eating well, the physical is going to change. But what people
Hmm.
don't always realize is that in that process, your mindset changes. So you decide that I am worth taking care of. So it changes your opinion of who you are for yourself. So when that starts happening, for me especially, and I know most people have the same experience, but when you start to change your mindset, that's when the whole process, it doesn't become a challenge to go to the gym. It's not a challenge to go walk. It's not a challenge to try to eat well, because now you understand this is the one thing I can do for myself that no one else can do. So that is the key thing mentally that I like to share with people. Yes, ma'am.
And that's the biggest part, really. And myself included, it's always difficult to, like, you know understand that it starts with your mind, and
Yes.
whatever you do, physically or anything, if it's not aligned with your mind, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So and you learn it the hard way. And that's very important that you remind us that it has to start here, and then the physical part we follow. And obviously the spiritual part as well
Yeah.
is a key one, because that's what that's basically the foundation of of everything. And so one thing that, yeah, I really wanted to understand, because you are doing so different things, and really wanted to understand, how do you align all of this? Because there's the singing, there's the medical part of things, there's the fitness, and there's so many things. So how do you integrate all of this? And then is there like a secret that you can share with us today?
Well, this is I'm tired now. But there's no secret. I just
Mhm,
made a conscious decision that God didn't give me one gift and he didn't give me one passion. So
mhm,
it's my job and my I'm proud to do it, to be able to indulge in all the gifts that God has given to me, because I feel like if I don't, that's not,
mhm,
I'm not giving God his just due. If I just decide, oh, I only want to focus on this part. And then also, when you talk about music, a lot of times, musically, people want to box you in. It's the same thing in your passions. People say, oh, well, you can't do all these. Well, why not? Why not? Why can't I be all the things? The when people the I think that's the army slogan thing is, be all that you can be. Like, why can't I be all I can be? So that's where I see. But I do try to rest and know when to cut things off. And you do have to have
mhm,
one thing that I've learned and I'm still learning is balance. You have to have balance because if you don't have balance, you're going to run yourself completely down.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know when to turn it off and when to turn it on.
Mhm. And is it different for people, or can, someone just copy paste from another person to really, try to emulate and do the same thing?
I think it's different for everyone, but I learned from a lot of people, like the doctors I worked for. I learned, different things that they would do. Other artists, even my manager, he gives me sound advice and things like that. My parents. So I take all those things. You've heard the saying, chew up the meat and spit out the bones. So you gotta, you know, utilize all those tools, and then take those tools and and use them to put your pieces together and learn what your path is, because even though I have good tools for you to use, that doesn't mean that we both need to use a wrench, but there's different type of wrenches to use. So
Mm-hmm.
you just have to learn your area. You can get advice, but learn your area.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's the learning part we were talking about at the beginning, is that you still need to get educated. You still need to learn from different people, and do the work, to put yourself out there. And it's a very important process to go through. So we're going to have our last break, and then there is a really important question that I really love asking my guests, but we'll know after this quick break, and we'll be back
It's a
with you,
secret
Rene.
question.
The secret question, yes. So we are back. We are back, and the secret question is, what is the legacy that you want to leave? Working, doing what you do. I mean, obviously, you want to leave. You want to create an impact. So that's the secret question: is what is the legacy that you're building, and what is the legacy that you want to leave? I think you muted yourself.
Is it there? I didn't know I muted myself.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know how I did that. But you were talking about the legacy. My
Mhm,
grandmother left a legacy that I didn't even know to what extent it was until after she passed away. So,
mhm,
but the legacy I want to leave is not just, oh, he sang, oh, he was in the fitness, oh, he was into medical. He had medical degrees. What I want to leave is the mental state, like really, like I'm being serious. I want to leave a legacy that tells people that you are not a statistic, you are not a stereotype, you are you were made purposefully, you were made to do whatever it is you find out that God has given you. You were made to do those things. You are not a mistake. Everything is purposeful, and that's really what I want to leave. Like when people, I can't put all that on my headstone, all that on my headstone, but I really want people to have faith, because I work on faith every day. I have to wake up and
mhm,
choose peace. I have to wake up and choose faith. So just to be able to leave that legacy and like it's not easy. It ain't right all
mhm,
the time, but I'm choosing persistence and I'm choosing to be faithful to God. So that is the biggest thing. That's the lasting thing, because money's going to be gone when I'm gone. All these, all this could go up in flames and there's nothing left. But what you impede on people's hearts and minds, that is what's going to be lasting.
Fantastic, and it's so powerful, to hear. So the thing that I like is like, understanding that we're not a statistic. We're here for a purpose, and
Yeah.
really, like you said, work on faith and understand that, the everything that is, all the material things are going to be gone anyway. So it's really the impact that you leave behind that will be really important. So thank you so much,
I appreciate
Dion,
you.
for this inspiring conversation today. It's been a real pleasure and really insightful as well to really understand, all, your story, and also, the philosophy and what comes behind everything that you do. And I hope that, it will help, the listeners to, and the viewers to really, use what you share today and to help them to grow and to go. I always tell them this is a show to help you to bring, everything for you to go to the next level of your greatness. And I hope that that was, the case today. So how do people connect with you if they want to continue this conversation?
Yeah, you can connect with me on Instagram. Just type in official Deon Robertson, Facebook Deon Robertson, YouTube Deon Robertson. I'm on TikTok now too, Deon Robertson. So
Okay, so
all of it is just real easy to find. You see, you most of the time see this big old smile, so that's where it's gonna be. But I thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it and I enjoyed it so much. Thank you.
that's been a pleasure as well. And where do we get the song? And is
Oh,
it on Spotify or everywhere, all
yes,
the
everywhere.
platform?
Spotify,
Everywhere. Okay.
iTunes, Amazon. If you can get music or listen to it, it is there. YouTube, everywhere. Yes.
Fantastic. So listen, the song is everywhere, so there's no excuse for you to not, go and listen to it,
That's
and
right.
maybe feedback to Dion now that you've had the opportunity to hear, the story and the what actually bring, this song, to life.
Yeah. And
That
the way to do it, tag me in it. Share it on
opportunity
social
to,
media and tag my name so I can read it.
exactly. So share and like, share, whatever, comment, and also listen to the song. Any last message, before we leave the platform today? Anything that you really want the audience to live with, and that will actually have an impact, hopefully,
Yeah.
in my life as well.
Like you said, there's so many things going on. Like, the news, uh, every day is something new. But I challenge us, and just period, just to try to focus on positivity. And when you see the negative, no, understand we have to live in the world, but we don't have to be of the world. So,
Mhm.
spend time praying, spend time, doing things to edify your body, spend time things that edify God. Focus on those things and not the negative, because if you do, you're going to find yourself depressed, angry, and frustrated. And we all are too talented and too favored to give over into that mental space. So I would like to leave that. And again, I'm just grateful that you had me on. I appreciate it. I have enjoyed myself thoroughly.
Fantastic. And that's what it's all about. And to everyone watching today, if today's conversation blessed you, inspired you, or challenged you in any way, so make sure you like, you share, you comment this episode with someone who needs, the motivation right now, because it was really motivating to listen to Diane, and, he shared some of the techniques to use, when you're really down and everything is heavy in your life. And most importantly, remember, this is not, you are not stuck. You are not stuck. There are always opportunity to unstuck and go to the next level. And it's just that you are being shaped. You are being shaped, and you have to have faith in God, for you to lead you and to lead you to the light. And so stay the course and trust the process and keep engineering, and engineering greatness, because that's what it's all about. And like Diane was saying, you're not just a number, you're here for a reason. So thank you so much again for the opportunity to share, your story and everything that your values and everything that you believe in. And it has been also a pleasure to have you on the Greatness Engineering Show. And we will be back for another episode of the Greatness Engineering Show tomorrow, same time, so 11 a.m. in the US, because we will be in the US, and it's going to be midnight my time here the next day. So it is important. So it's already Saturday on my side. But I enjoyed it really well, and it's a good way to to go to bed now with such an inspiration from Diane. Thank you very much, and please tune in tomorrow and join us for another episode of the Greatness Engineering Show. Thank you again, Diane, for your time
Thank
and
you.
your insights.